I'm Vince Russo, and I'll be coming to Chair Shot Reality.
Friday, and Friday is great for two reasons. Number one, it ends the work week. Number two, you guys know it is time for Off the Script. This is episode number 25, part number one to start your weekend off the right way. This is the number one source for WWE news and rumors right here on YouTube.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and what I do on here. If you're new, please subscribe. You're not going to find news and rumors and content on WWE anywhere on YouTube.com like I do it here on Off the Script. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know what the deal is. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. Now, it's been a slow week, man. It has been an incredibly slow week. So slow that I know the news and rumors mill is completely dead when Sean's View Entertainment doesn't upload videos for 2 or 3 days. You know it's slow, okay? When he has to resort to playing Super Mario Brothers Wii U, you know it's a slow week. And yes, he actually did post gameplay of Super Mario Brothers Wii U on his channel. So that's the way I kind of gauge how busy the work week is going to be for WWE News and Rumors. I kind of use him as a guide. And I even told him this. All right, I use him as a guide. If he's got something and I hear something that he's reporting, I immediately go to my sources and see what's going on with that story. If it's good enough, I'll post it on Off the Script. But I'm telling you what, guys, it has been incredibly slow this week. I have absolutely nothing. I have absolutely nothing as far as news and rumors go. The one thing that I am going to talk about in this video, and I'm going to spread whatever news I have over the 3 days to try and get you guys videos. I don't want to not do a video for Off the Script. It's usually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to try and get you news the best that I can. But the one thing that we're going to cover in this video is Daniel Bryan may never, ever wrestle again for the WWE. He may never wrestle at all for anybody ever again. So there's some concern in the WWE right now that Bryan is not going to be back for the Royal Rumble. He's not going to be back for WrestleMania, and he's going to be back sometime in the late spring, early summer. So I have news on that. I don't know whether to believe it or not, because with Daniel Bryan, there's been several conflicting reports about his surgery. You know, 1 week we're hearing that he's not gaining strength in his arm. The next week, we're hearing that, you know, he is gaining strength in his arm and he's not going to need Tommy John surgery. The next week, we're hearing that he's going to need Tommy John surgery and that he's going to be out for 3 months. You know, Tommy John surgery, if you guys don't know what Tommy John surgery is, it's something that MLB baseball players, and especially pitchers, have to go through. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. The reason why they didn't make the playoffs this year is because their starting rotation was decimated with injuries to their pitchers, okay? And every injury that their pitchers in their starting rotation suffered was Tommy John surgery. Pitchers usually recover from Tommy John surgery between 12 and 15 months, okay? Sometimes there is a relapse and they have to go back for a second Tommy John surgery. So that eliminates them from competitive play in Major League Baseball for over 2 years. It is a very frustrating injury for ball players. I don't know how it differs when it comes to a professional wrestler, but now I have news on Daniel Bryan saying that he may need Tommy John surgery. I'll get into all that, and I'll read the small article that I have on him in just a little bit. I want to, you know, obviously talk to you guys about my guys, you know, Chair Shot Reality. If you guys seen the introduction, their 250th episode is coming up, so I highly advise you guys to go over there and get, you know, affiliated and, you know, get, you know, familiar with what they do over there. They're easily the best talk show on the internet when it comes to professional wrestling. Justin LaBar, Josh Eisenberg, and Brian Ghoulish. 250 episodes is no joke, man. That is a great milestone. You're not going to find three guys any better than them at what they do. They're spreading the reality of the wrestling business, and this is what I want to model myself after. I want to take this, what I do here on Off the Script, and make it like a chair shot. I want to find guys, like LeBar has on Chair Shot Reality. I want to have that setup. I want to have that feel. I want to have that whole talk show type vibe. And they do it better than anybody. In their 250th episode, they're ringing in the 250th with Vince Russo. You can't get any more epic than that, man. He was the man behind the Attitude Era. He was a controversial figure in WCW. He's the man being blamed for TNA's downfall. So he's got a lot to say. Vince Russo's been in the limelight for a little bit now since his departure from TNA. It's great to hear what he has to say. He's got a great mind for the business. And he's from New York, so you can't get any better than that. Share Shot Reality at WrestleZone.com. Their link to their homepage at WrestleZone is linked down below. They also have a YouTube page. If you don't know about it, please go subscribe. If you're a fan of their show, they got exclusive content that they're not going to upload on WrestleZone. It's only going to be on their YouTube page, so go and check that shit out. Show them some love. Tell them JD from NY sent you over there, and show those guys some support. Number 2, if you missed my Monday Night Raw review, yes, I did post a review. Didn't do as well as the previous week because YouTube apparently fucked it up as usual. But I did post a Monday Night Raw review. That is linked down below in the description. I was very upset with the closing segments of Monday Night Raw with Dean Ambrose and John Cena. I think the WWE did a horrible job on that main event. That contract in a pole match, the whole rush job that was John Cena and Dean Ambrose. This match should have been treated as a main event. It should have been treated with a little bit more care. We should have got at least 20 minutes of an epic match between Cena and Ambrose just to see who wants it more to go on to fight Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell inside that demonic structure. I understand why they didn't do it at the pay-per-view, and some of you guys, kind of brought me down from my little rant. Yes, I understand that if Cena and Ambrose had a 20-25 minute match at the pay-per-view, then they have to go into Hell in a Cell. That is quite the ordeal. That would be quite the struggle, quite the night for one of those two guys. But now we're stuck with Randy Orton versus John Cena inside of Hell in a Cell, and we got Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, probably the only match that I'm looking forward to on this pay-per-view. And the rest of the card, I knew it was going to play out like it did. We got Rusev versus Big Show, again in a rematch for the third time. We got Goldust versus the Usos in a rematch for the tag team titles. Paige versus AJ Lee. Miz somehow forgot about Dolph Ziggler in the Intercontinental title. Now he's battling for the United States title against Sheamus. We got Cesaro versus Ziggler, which I'm definitely looking forward to as well. That's going to be a great match. So we got 2 matches to look forward to on Hell in a Cell. Lesnar's not going to be there. Obviously, he's probably going to take the rest of the year off as reported. But that is what Hell in a Cell is looking like right now. We also got Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella. The loser is going to be, the other's bitch is what WWE.com is talking about. I'm not really excited for this pay-per-view. I knew it was going to shape up. WWE seemed to not care at all with the build, especially with these past episodes of Monday Night Raw. They certainly didn't care what happened in the main event on Monday Night Raw this past week, and they made Ambrose look like a fool. I was very vocal about it. There was moments in the match where Ambrose was looking at the contract and didn't go up and climb and retrieve it to win the match quickly. Instead, they pawned it off as the lunatic fringe. He wants to be a lunatic, or that he is a lunatic. He's a psychopath, and instead of going for the contract, he's showing you why he's a lunatic and just going on to attack John Cena and the rest of the authority on the outside of the ring. It's fucking ridiculous, man. That's not the kind of lunatic that I want to see from Ambrose. That's not the kind of the model lunatic that they're building Ambrose to be. If you want to build Ambrose up as a lunatic, use Brian Pillman as a model. Pillman was fucking phenomenal in what he did on WWE TV. The character that Brian Pillman portrayed was unbelievable. That guy legitimately looked like he had problems. And he played it so perfectly with his raspy voice and the feuds that he was in. It was just unbelievable what he brought to WWE TV. It was that shock factor that fit perfectly into the attitude of WWE at that time. It was great. And I'm not saying that Dean Ambrose should go on and be that Brian Pillman type psychopath where he pulls out a gun, on Monday Night Raw. It's not what I want to see. But you got to build him from that kind of mold. The lunatic fringe that we've seen on Monday Night Raw looked like a complete idiot. And that's not what I want Dean Ambrose to be. You know, WWE booked him as a fool. You know, they really didn't script anything believable in that match. They rushed through it. It should have been handled more with care. If they wanted that to be on Monday Night Raw, if they really wanted that to be the main event for Monday Night Raw, they should have cut out that Divas match with that special guest. They should have squared away sometime so that Cena and Ambrose gave us 20 minutes of just a great wrestling match on Monday Night Raw to close out the show. The show before that, the first hour and a half was great. The first hour and a half was great. But when it got to the middle of the show and leading in towards the end, that Monday Night Raw showed you why Monday Night Raw has been struggling for the past several months. And I really wish WWE would have kind of, took care of that main event and showed us why, that match was important. Cena versus Ambrose could have been an important match. Who wants Seth Rollins more? Cena or Ambrose? I don't understand that. Instead, they made Ambrose look like a fool. I felt like they buried Ambrose in the process because Cena really didn't do any favors to Ambrose. He didn't put him over in the match. He didn't make him look good in the match. He buried him with that opening promo to start Monday Night Raw, explaining that he's a 15-time world champion, and who do you think you are? You're a rookie. I'm the fucking king of the mountain. That's not how you gotta treat Dean Ambrose. Cena didn't do any favors to Ambrose on Monday night. And I don't like that. Ambrose right now, not by choice, not by WWE's choice, he is the number 2 babyface in the WWE. And the reason for that is because Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan are inactive right now. The whole landscape of WWE would look vastly different if Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan were on the roster. Roman Reigns wouldn't be talked about for WWE championships at WrestleMania. Dean Ambrose wouldn't be in the position he's in right now. And I mentioned this last week. WWE was forced to push Dean Ambrose into the position he's in right now. Not by choice. WWE doesn't want to build new stars on their own. They want to build new stars based on who they like, who the politicians backstage like. Dean Ambrose would have never been one of those guys right now. I'm not saying he would have been one of those guys. He wouldn't have been one of those guys ever. But right now, Dean Ambrose wouldn't have been in the position he's in if those other guys were not injured. Okay? WWE was forced to build new baby faces, new stars. But it wasn't because they wanted to. They waited until the situation arose where Bryan and Reigns got hurt, and they had no choice. Their backs were against the wall, and they had to force Dean Ambrose into the position he's in right now. And I feel like they're treating him like an idiot as of Monday night. Now, the match at Hell in a Cell is going to be phenomenal. I hope they script it right. I hope we see some color. I hope we see some blood. I hope either Rollins or Ambrose bleeds. This is a blow-off to a feud. Okay? You got Ambrose, who's been wanting to get at Rollins this entire time. Now you got him. Now you got him locked inside a 20-foot cage with no way out. There's no way out. We need to see some color. We need to see the story being told in the ring. We need to see that frustration on Ambrose's part. We need to see the struggle of Seth Rollins just trying to, hold down and keep Ambrose at bay. We need to see some color. We need to see some high spots. It should close the show. I don't care who John Cena or Randy Orton are. That is not closing Hell in a Cell. This match is more important than anything Randy Orton and John Cena have to do. Okay? Cena should have never even been involved with Ambrose and Rollins to begin with. WWE forced him into that storyline because they had no other way around it with Brock Lesnar being the WWE champion. You had to keep the championship on Brock Lesnar, so Seth Rollins was the only choice to interfere in that match, and Cena was cost the WWE championship. So, the only logical way was for Cena to go after Rollins. You could have booked Cena versus Lesnar again. But realistically, nobody wanted to see that match again. Nobody. I didn't want to see it. You didn't want to see it. I don't think anybody wanted to see it. Cena failed once. Cena failed twice. You're not going to have him go again at Brock Lesnar and have it be any different, okay? I don't give a shit if he delivered 28 AAs. I don't give a shit if he delivered an AA off the Titantron. You're not going to beat Brock Lesnar with a fucking attitude adjustment. And WWE was trying to pawn it off as, oh my God, John Cena had Lesnar beat. No, man. He didn't have Lesnar beat. He didn't have Lesnar beat at all. At all. Lesnar should have never even been in that position to lose. You could have made Lesnar look a little weak. You didn't have to, position him as, oh my God, he was a 3 count away from losing the title. No, that's not believable to me. That's not believable to me. So I'm glad, on one hand, that they didn't go with Lesnar versus Cena. On the other hand, it probably would have made for a better main event than what we got right now. We could have had Cena versus Lesnar, and we could have had Rollins versus Ambrose inside the cell. Instead we got Orton versus Cena. Bring a pillow, please. Drink some NyQuil before. You may pass out before the match actually takes place. And we got Rollins versus Ambrose inside the cell. So, it could have went either way. I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with the direction WWE's going right now. And they're really struggling. They're really struggling. None of this shit makes sense to me. And WWE really needs to get their heads together. I know this is a slow year. As soon as we get into Survivor Series should be an easy pay-per-view. It should be an easy pay-per-view to build, man. I remember back when I was watching Survivor Series. And I know I'm going off, and I'm kind of leading into, what I want to talk about with Daniel Bryan. It's not a lot, so I have to fill the video with something. Survivor Series is the easiest thing to build. Lesnar should be back for Survivor Series. I don't care. You can't have him sit out 3 months. You can't have him sit out the remainder of the year and not be a presence on WWE TV. Have him be a team leader for a Survivor Series team. Go back to the traditional 4 against 4. 5 against 5 doesn't work for me, man. It's too much. It's too cluttered. 4 versus 4, 8 guys in one match, okay? I remember back when I used to watch The Undertaker and Lex Luger on the All-Americans. And then you had the other side, the foreign fanatics. You had Crush. You had the Mountie, right? You had Yokozuna. And you had Ludwig Borga against The Undertaker, the Steiner brothers, and Lex Luger. That's a fucking Survivor Series match to me, man. That's a Survivor Series match. That's what the Survivor Series is all about. And I want to see a team of Lesnar. I want to see, a team built around Lesnar to take on John Cena's team, man. Cena wants Lesnar. He's like, where's Lesnar? I'm tired of playing these games with Orton and Rollins and Ambrose. Where's Lesnar? I want my title back. Obviously, Lesnar should show up for Survivor Series. You build a team around Lesnar and Cena and build that for the main event of Survivor Series. And everything else will trickle down and fill out that card. You got mid-card guys that would fit perfectly on a Survivor Series team. And I'll talk about this as the time comes. I'll build my own Survivor Series pay-per-view when it comes. But I'm trying to tell you guys that WWE right now doesn't seem to care about what's going on creatively. And they really need to start getting their collective thoughts together. Vince really needs to get his head out of his ass. Triple H needs to, have a little bit more push backstage with storylines and being creative. If everything's going through Vince McMahon, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. That's just the way I see it. Because Vince really has lost touch. When you hear reports about Vince finding the bunny funny and that he's going to get more TV time, when WWE has guys like Ryback who's clear to wrestle now, you got Ryback and you got Curtis Axel backstage and you got all these guys ready to come up in NXT. You want to give airtime to the bunny? Vince McMahon completely has lost touch with what the fans want. And I'm tired of these big businesses that seem to care about the fans. Meanwhile, they don't. It's all a fucking facade. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. WWE doesn't care about their fans, man. They'll put out a t-shirt every fucking week, a new t-shirt, and all they want is your fucking money. How many different t-shirts have I seen Ambrose with in the last fucking 3 weeks? He's got a hoodie. He's got a t-shirt. He had a new t-shirt on Monday Night Raw. This is all they care about, man. And then we're suckers. We're the ones who buy it. We're the ones who buy that shit. I haven't bought a WWE t-shirt since the CM Punk Gray t-shirt that says best in the world in the back. I'm not invested into any of these guys where I have to drop $25 on WWE.com to buy a fucking t-shirt. If Daniel Bryan comes back and he's presented with a new t-shirt, yeah, I'll buy that because I'm a Daniel Bryan guy. I'm a Daniel Bryan guy. But WWE really doesn't care what the fans think at all. And there were reports back a few months ago where Triple H wants to listen to the IWC. He wants to listen to the ideas and the feedback of the internet wrestling community. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. Vince doesn't care about the internet wrestling fan. Vince doesn't care about the fans watching his program. If he's going to keep doing what he's doing and giving us lackluster, no-effort shows, I don't see why we should even fucking watch. Why should we care? I care because I've been watching for 25 years. I want to see the product thrive. I want to see the product blossom. And they have the talent to do so. I have all these ideas that I could make a better show. When I'm here, a regular dude like me feels that he can book Monday Night Raw better and just creatively be better than what WWE is working right now. You know, it's frustrating that, you know, ideas collectively from the internet aren't used and utilized by, you know, the writers. This is why WWE, they have guys in place that have no idea about the product. Nothing. And the end result is what we got at Hell in a Cell. The end result is what we got at Hell in a Cell. It sucks. It sucks. It's pathetic. It's depressing. You know, knowing that, you know, I'm a huge WWE fan and this is what we got at Hell in a Cell. No effort pay-per-view. Everything that we've seen on Hell in a Cell is or happened previously on Monday Night Raw. Garbage. Garbage. What are we going to see with Rusev versus Big Show? We're going to see Mark Henry turn heel. We're going to see Mark Henry turn on the Big Show. Guarantee it. What are we going to see with AJ versus Paige that we haven't seen already? What are we going to see with the Usos versus Goldust and Stardust that we haven't seen already? What are we going to see with Cena and Orton inside of Hell in a Cell? Is there going to be blood? Is there going to be the struggle to survive inside of Hell in a Cell? No. No. What are we going to see with Sheamus versus The Miz that we haven't seen already on Monday Night Raw? What are we going to see with Ziggler versus Cesaro? It's going to be a great fucking match. It's going to be a great match. But what haven't we seen already? Same thing with Rollins and Ambrose. Is WWE going to, you know, book this as a true main event? Are they going to give us something special? Even though we're paying $9.99 for the WWE Network, are they going to give us something special? I doubt it. And that's where I come. That's why I'm frustrated. A little bit of a rant. I'm not yelling. I'm not cursing. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Let's get on to the one story about this part for Off the Script, Part 1. Daniel Bryan underwent minimal invasive neck surgery. The surgery was expected to keep him out of the ring for a short time, less than 2 months. As noted before, Bryan has had issues regaining strength in his arm, and there was talk that he might need another surgery. The latest news as of this week, and according to SES Scoops, not the most reputable source for news, I'll tell you that, but they're reporting that Bryan is not seeing improvement on his arm. The talk backstage at Raw was that Bryan may be getting Tommy John surgery. According to WebMD, Tommy John surgery, or during Tommy John surgery, a surgeon replaces the injured UCL with a tendon taken from somewhere else in the patient's body. UCL is short for ulnar collateral ligament. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it is what it is. The recovery time for this type of surgery is between 6 and 12 months, okay? For MLB players, like I mentioned, it could be 12 months to 15 months. For wrestlers, apparently, it's going to be 6 to 12 months. Even worse, it is not known if he will ever wrestle again. The report notes that this type of injury can prevent him from being cleared to wrestle. The WWE creative team is now working on the assumption that he will not be back anytime soon and will not be factored into creative plans for the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 31 in San Francisco. Now, you go about this a couple of ways. You know, I don't trust SEScoops.com. They're not reputable, okay? I don't know. I rarely visit that site for news, okay? They get their news from everywhere else, all right? I don't know how reputable this is. We've been hearing stories about Daniel Bryan on and off. He's going to need surgery. Okay, fine, he got surgery. He's going to need a second surgery. Okay, then the next week he's not going to need a second surgery. He's slowly regaining strength in his arm, okay? If you're watching Total Divas, the guy's working out. The guy's working out trying to regain strength in his arm, all right? Now, about Daniel Bryan factoring into plans, this may be, and I may be wrong on this, but I'm going to throw it out there. This may be WWE trying to keep Bryan as far away from WWE creative plans, you know, for right now, for the Rumble and for WrestleMania. Everyone is expecting him to come back, okay? The people who read the dirt sheets, the people who are in tune with WWE and the happenings in the news, they're expecting Bryan to come back any month now, okay? They're figuring Bryan's got to be back between October and December, latest January. They're expecting him to come back, and the WWE doesn't want you to expect it, okay? The WWE will put out a story that he may need surgery. The WWE may put out a story that he may never wrestle again, that he's not doing well with rehab. Just for the fact that when Bryan does make his return at the Royal Rumble, it's a huge fucking pop. It's a huge surprise, and he could be one of the guys to win it all. That may be one reason. That may be one thing that the WWE is doing. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is possible. If Daniel Bryan is cleared to wrestle and is in the Royal Rumble, I see no better choice than Daniel Bryan to win the Royal Rumble, okay? Factor in a possible Kurt Angle, I hope, I pray. Kurt Angle's back with the WWE. I don't want him anywhere else but the WWE. Factor him into the Royal Rumble. That would be fantastic. Bryan and Angle meet in the Rumble. Unbelievable. Bryan, one of the final four with Roman Reigns, Kurt Angle, and someone else. I don't know who it may be. John Cena. I don't know. Those could be your final four. That could be for epic storytelling. Bryan and Angle in the Rumble, you know? That would be great. And now, if Daniel Bryan is not in the Rumble, Roman Reigns is probably going to win the Royal Rumble. I don't want to, have Roman Reigns win it, but if Bryan is not in the Rumble, he's probably going to win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania, okay? And the rumored Lesnar-Reigns match may take place. We don't know, okay? Those are the only two choices right now. I don't see anyone else in the Royal Rumble winning the match, or anyone else on the WWE roster winning the Royal Rumble. WWE really needs to build up the Royal Rumble this year as something that is believable to the fucking viewer. You got to have at least 1/3 of the guys in the Rumble actually, a threat to win the Royal Rumble. You got to have big name guys in the Rumble to make me believe, what, this guy could win or that guy could win. This guy could win too. You got to have at least 1/3 of the participants in the Rumble with a legitimate shot to win. Can't have it like last year. You can't have it where it's Dave Bautista and nobody else. Okay? Bryan wasn't in it, and there was nobody else but Roman Reigns, and we knew Roman Reigns was not going to win it because he was too young, and he was still part of the Shield. He was still part of that three-man group. So we knew based on that he was not going to win. He was going to put up a good fight, but he wasn't going to win. Batista was the only big-name guy, that was in the Rumble that said, you know what, this is the only legitimate choice to win here. And the WWE really needs to avoid that this year. Bryan not being in the Rumble is going to hurt it. I'm expecting him to be back at the Rumble. I hope he's back. I hope what I'm reading to you guys is not true, but only time will tell. Okay? And that is the only news I have on Daniel Bryan. Obviously, if I hear anything else regarding Daniel Bryan in a potential comeback, if he's going to need surgery, if he's going to be at the Rumble, if he's going to factor into plans at WrestleMania, I will obviously let you guys know here on Off the Script. All right? That is it, guys. That's it for part one. I hope you enjoyed me just bullshitting with you guys and letting you know where I'm coming from with WWE. I hope you enjoyed the video and the news on Daniel Bryan. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video. It greatly helps out my channel. If you missed any of my previous content and everything else that I mentioned about ShareShot and my previous videos, links are down below. Don't forget Joe Cronin as well is trying to do his best with that copyright strike that got him flagged for 6 months. So I'm going to try and work out something with him where I can, maybe go on his channel or he comes on here. We're going to be doing something soon. He reached out to me, so go show him some love and support. He greatly, deserves it and certainly needs it in this time where YouTube is just fucked up with everything. But what I got planned for you guys in part two, I got news on Steve Austin. I got news on a potential match with Punk, what WWE wanted to do 2 years ago with Punk and Austin. I got news on Randy Orton and him defying Vince McMahon orders and what he will not do for Vince and the WWE. I got a big story on that. And in part three, I got TNA negotiating. I don't know if this is bullshit or not. I don't know if this is Dixie Carter blowing smoke up everyone's ass. But TNA is negotiating with a name that will legitimately shock people. I don't know who it is, but according to reports, it's not Punk and it's not Mick Foley. So I don't know who it could be. We'll find out. I will let you guys know on what's going on with that. But like I said, if you guys enjoyed the video, please show your support, like the video. And I will be back on Saturday morning with part two of Off the Script this weekend, guys. Take care, and I will talk to you all on Saturday morning.